Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Up, released back in 2009. So, Up is about an elderly man named Carl. His wife has passed. He's living all grumpy and solitary in his little house, but there's like developers coming that are trying to take his house down so they can build, like, I don't know, a mall or something, who knows what. But of course he doesn't want his house torn down because he has memories of his wife there at his house. So this older gentleman, Carl, he attaches all these balloons to his house and he floats away to a place called Paradise Falls, so he can land the house there because that's where he and his wife wanted to travel to. But he has a stowaway, a little boy named Russell. And yeah, the movie has some talking dogs, a crazy madman who's after a magical bird. It's great. Stephanie. I guess that's the plot of Up. There's kind of a lot going on. There's not a lot going on, but in some ways there is. So, Stephanie, how did you feel about Up?
I love Up. It's such a simple movie, but it's just got like a perfect beginning, middle, and ending and everything, and I love the characters, and it's got a great story. I just love Up.
I forgot how much I liked it.
Yeah, I told you, I was like, I'm ready for some Up, and you were kind of like...
I feel that way about a lot of Pixar movies, though. I think other than maybe like Toy Story or something. I feel that way a lot about Pixar movies that I don't know why. Like I remember liking them when I first watched them, but then like for some reason I don't know. I feel like I have lost interest. But then once I have a rewatch, I remember how much I love them, and that's the same thing that happened with Up. With our rewatch we just had, I was like, oh man, I forgot how much I like this because I forgot just all the little things kind of going on in it, I guess. So Stephanie, what do you think Up is about, really? What are some of the what are some of, like, I don't know, themes or like dig deep? Because I feel like it's on the surface this movie is kind of fun and entertaining, but I think there's a lot of things kind of hidden in there, because I feel like out of a lot of the Pixar movies, this is the most mature Pixar movie, and I feel like this is really intended for an older audience in some ways. Mm-hmm. Though kids can enjoy it, obviously, but I feel like
they put the child and the talking dog in it
for kids.
For kids,
yeah. But I feel like this movie is really targeted more towards adults who will get it. You know, especially I guess elderly people, maybe. I don't know.
Because I think like the biggest focus of this is family, because they have Carl and Ellie who try to start a family and that doesn't go well. Mm-hmm. And then you have Russell
who has a broken family.
His family's not going well. But he has like a maybe not a positive outlook on it, but like a childish outlook. I don't know if that's the right word either. Like, you know, like he doesn't seem too bothered by it. He seems a little bothered by it. But like he just casually talks about it like it's normal, you know?
Him, yeah.
And that is not really something that kind of bothers him. He showed a little bit of being upset, like when he was kind of like his dad used to do stuff with him and now he doesn't. But
and then I guess continuing the family thing, there's a new family by the end, in a sense. Though they're not blood related. Yeah. Because, Carl and Russell have a bond that they did not have at the beginning. And, they have Doug and everything.
Who's got a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Puppy family.
Yeah, if you watch the credits.
Somehow he found a girl.
If you watch the credits at the end, Doug finds a lady dog and they have some puppies. There's like a picture in the credits.
They have
there's
too
a bunch
many
of puppies.
puppies. There was like 15. I was like, I don't think that's accurate.
Well, what I kind of take away from the movie, because it is about an older person with Carl. IMDb says he's like 78 years old. I didn't realize he was that old. I think, because we have conceptions about the elderly, let's not lie. We all have conceptions about the elderly. We treat the elderly a certain way. We view them a certain way. And this movie, it initially kind of plays with those stereotypes, I think, because...
Grumpy old man, get off my lawn.
Yeah, exactly. Carl, who is very much like Clint Eastwood or something, like, I'm a grumpy old man, get off my lawn. He wants like this stagnant life in some ways, like, I want my house here, I don't want nothing else, no one's gonna tear this house down, this is the house I had with my wife and whatnot, he's kind of living this stagnant life here in his later years, And yeah, he has his little cane with the little golf balls on the end, you know, and there's a lot of the tennis balls over there. Yeah, there's a lot of stereotypes, but I think that's done on purpose. You know, because those stereotypes are kind of put to the side, you know, because then we do see Carl as more of like a man of action later. You know, just because he's elderly doesn't mean he can't live. You know,
into like what Die Hard number 8 would look like.
And so yeah, Carl by the end, it's like he got rid of his little cane at some point, didn't he? He kind of doesn't.
He started using it as just like you know how he used it to slide down the line and stuff. Like he just attached it to him, but he stopped using it. And now I can't remember if he was kind of using it like that final scene and like in those photos and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of the movie, it's about, you know, the preconceived notions that we have of the elderly, the stereotypes that we have of the elderly, and yeah, that once you hit a certain age, you're like not allowed to live no more. You know, I think that's always how we kind of think, like, oh, you maybe you hit your 60s and 70s, oh, you got to stop living, you got to stay at home or something, you know. And yeah, this movie, it's Carl. He's living like a second life, you know. It's like I think he felt like his wife died and he had to stop living. I guess, if that makes sense. And so because he's irritated with Russell, you know, he's irritated with the youth. He's irritated with the youth. He doesn't understand the youth and all their contraptions, you know. So, but he does. He quickly loves Russell, you know, and then he doesn't get irritated by him no more. He doesn't get irritated by Doug no more, you know. So yeah, the whole family thing comes back into play. That he has a second life and a second family. So yeah, that's a lot of the stuff I took from the movie.
So did he go, you know, his house remains at Paradise Falls. Did he go to Shady Oaks? Did he get like adopted? Did Russell somehow convince his mom? Because I think he lives with his mom.
That's true.
Did he go live with them?
The house stayed at Paradise Falls. Where did he go after that? I never thought about that, Stephanie. Where did he go? I don't know. Where did he go?
I should have paid attention to those photos better, because he was in a house.
Surely he went to Shady Oaks. Or maybe he just got a new house.
Maybe he got a new house.
I don't know. Maybe he just got a new house. Yeah, I should have paid attention to the photos
too. Doug and those 50 children.
Yeah, maybe I should have paid attention to the photos and the credits too, because maybe he lived out in a farm somewhere. I don't know. From the country. I don't know.
It's like that. It's called Shady Oaks.
Yeah. Because it doesn't.
It's a retirement.
It doesn't sound great. No, it doesn't sound great. Yeah. But there's happy people on the brochure. Don't call it Shady Oaks. Characters. How'd you feel about characters?
I love them. I think Russell's my favorite. And I mean, I like them all. But
yeah, I like all the characters too. I think in general they're all pretty well fleshed out.
Innocence.
For a Pixar movie.
Innocence is what I meant instead of childish. The way he was looking at his whole family situation was an innocent way. You know, he didn't. Yeah. He still wasn't fully processing certain things. Maybe
once Russell probably becomes an adult, he'll see things differently.
Yeah.
Kind of more of the reality, you know, of his parents' situation, his situation, I guess.
Grandpa Carl will help.
Yeah. Yeah, I like all the characters too, because I think they're all pretty fleshed out. Because I mean, with Carl alone, you get all that backstory in 5-6 minutes with him and Ellie. You know, and even though there's not much talking to it, and a lot of it is kind of just thunder music, it's like you get a lot there. You know, his life and what he's lost and whatnot. And then Russell, just the few conversations Russell and Carl have about, you know, his parents and the divorce and whatnot.
I feel so bad for him, because
I
think he like, for some reason he latches on to Carl. I mean, literally too. They're stuck on the rope. But I don't think really because they're stuck together. I think he just kind of, you know, he's a kid and
he just wants somebody to talk to and confide him.
Yeah, there's something that fascinates him with Carl or something, and he just wants to hang out with him.
Because it's like Russell's personality. He just kind of he seems like he's very eager to please. And I think that eager to please comes because he's so eager to please his father, because his father neglects him, you know. So it's all very psychological, I think. So yeah, it's like, it's just like an hour and a half movie, but I think it's a fairly deep movie if you kind of dig into character personalities, you know, and things they're saying and not saying. Does the beginning make you cry? Because I know the beginning makes a lot of people cry. I'm trying to remember how I felt the first time I watched it, because I think now it's like I'm kind of immune to it.
I think that's it. I'm immune to such things.
Because it's like I know what's happening with that beginning because I know Ellie's going to die. You know? I think I'm immune to it. I'm trying to remember, was I sad? I'm trying to remember if I was sad, if I about cried at the theater. I'm trying to remember.
I'm sure our mom looked at us with a tissue going...
Yeah, I definitely remember being in the theater. My mom over there, yeah, she had a tissue and just...
And it's like, God sakes, it's only 10 minutes into this
It's
piece
only
of
10
crap.
minutes in. But yeah, I think I was sad the first time I watched it. I can't remember if I like cried. But yeah, I think I'm definitely immune to it now because I know it's still sad, obviously.
And you know something that was... Like, did you notice, like, Carl seemed, even at a young age, he seemed like an old man?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they would climb that hill together, and actually, he seemed like he was maybe a couple years younger than her. Maybe.
I'm not
Or
sure.
maybe they were the same age.
Mhm.
But either way, they were, like, walking up that hill together to get to that tree, and he's over there, like... And
It's
she's
like he
like
was-
up in the... And he... Because they had it like he was kind of like an old man from
he was already,
his 20s already.
Yeah, he was already just old in nature and personality.
Because then, yeah, I was sitting there thinking that he was, and you said he was like 70-something, and I was thinking maybe he was maybe 60s, and that he just seemed like he was really old because he just had an old personality.
I think maybe how we're reading him, that he was kind of just older and wiser and mature for his years, because I think that's supposed to conflict with Ellie, because Ellie is very vibrant and spontaneous and whatnot.
And super, like, because, like, she was, like, talk.
Yeah,
and she's like, you don't talk much.
Yeah,
and...
very talkative. Yeah, she was full of plans and full of adventures, and Carl kind of wasn't
He was more
really...
practical,
Yeah,
probably.
more practical and rational, and I think that's kind of the thing, his journey by the end of the movie, because he does start to get a bit more...
broke from
Yeah,
that.
he breaks free, I think. I think he breaks free by the end. He kind of takes Ellie's spirits within himself in a way, you know, that spontaneity and energy.
From the credits, then it had, like, you know, he went back to that tree. He's probably never went back to that tree since she died, and it showed him, I think, out doing fun stuff with Russell. So yeah, it's like he needed to go on a soul-searching trip.
Yes. How do you feel about, like, Doug and Kevin and the dogs?
I love the dog.
Kevin is a girl, y'all. I almost forgot.
I
almost forgot about that detail.
I don't know why. That one little scene's like such a funny little moment with Kevin's a girl.
Kevin's a girl.
Like, I don't know. It's simple little silly funny lines like that that I like the best.
I do. I love Kevin. I mean,
Kevin don't even talk, but
yeah, Kevin is like the thing. You know, the thing that everyone's going after in the movie, pretty much. I love Doug. Obviously, Doug has some great one-liners.
Even Doug has, like, a journey, because, I mean, though, he's kind of like the dum-dum, probably, out of them, but, like...
Of the litter?
Yeah, but, you know, he keeps trying to take Kevin as his hostage, as his prisoner, but even then, he realizes, you know, even Doug realizes that what he's doing is wrong. So even the dog has a journey.
The dog's journey.
The dog's journey.
I also like the other dogs, too. They're hilarious.
Like those three that they focus on the most.
I love the voice that the one is supposed to be the alpha of the group, but his voice box has been, like, a little damaged.
Yeah, like, they got, like...
It's all, like, chipmunky. I love that.
They got, like, great voices for the dogs. Like, they match their personality. Like, they had the Rottweiler and the Bulldog. Like, they just went with them so well.
I just kind of
Made it
love...
funnier.
I'm going to say the word realism here, because the movie's not very real. I mean, a house is going to move around by balloons.
Like,
but,
everything, like, is
yeah, I still
believable,
like,
except for, like, the whole floating house.
Yeah, I still like the believability of, like, the dogs. Like, they can talk, you know, instead of just kind of taking the cheap, easy way and just having talking dogs.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the one man is very, I guess, intelligent and tech savvy, and he creates his old collars that whatever the dogs are thinking, they
They
can
even
speak.
had GPS systems on them.
Yeah, the dogs had the GPS systems. They could speak really intelligently, you know. I like kind of believability of that, you know, the science fiction of it all.
It wasn't like, hey, these dogs can talk. No, they can't talk. It's just going off of their
thoughts,
their
or whatever.
vocal cords.
Yeah. How do we feel about Charles Muntz as a villain?
It's like he's not in there for long, but I still feel like, I mean...
He's not my, like, favorite Disney or Pixar
No.
villain, you know. He's definitely far away from that. I still liked it. He serves his role. He's a nice foil to Carl, because Carl is elderly. Muntz is elderly, you know.
It was nice to have, like, instead of oh, there's a young villain, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
this old guy.
But yeah, he's just a nice villain for what he serves. He's not the most flashy or wild and crazy villain like some Disney villains, but he serves his function.
And it just makes it funny when they fight, because then they both, like, their backs
Yeah,
are like...
I love that little fight sequence because it's hilarious because they're both two older men and they're both
Things just go
creaking.
wrong.
Things are creaking and cracking. They try though. I was just telling you this right before we started filming because something I was looking on IMDb. I was looking at like fun facts about the movie. And like, I wish this is something that had been kept in the movie, because we were noticing at the very start of the movie, we were like, okay, why is Muntz, he's a couple decades older than...
Yeah, he definitely, from the adventures he had gone on,
Yeah.
he had to be at least in his 20s, at least.
So we noticed that Muntz was a couple decades older than Carl, and like I said, IMDb mentions that Carl is 78, so good God, Muntz would have to be like almost 100. Or maybe at 100 or over, but yet he kind of looks younger, he almost acts younger. So on IMDb, there's a nice little, like, trivia section, and it was mentioned that there was a subplot that was cut from the movie about that why Muntz is going after Kevin has to do with Kevin's eggs, that the eggs are, like, magical, and they prolong life and whatnot. And that's why Muntz is going after him, because he's trying to preserve his own life, and that would kind of explain why he... even as old as he is, he's still kind of lively, you know, and he probably shouldn't be, because he's kind of been able to capture some of the eggs, steal some of the eggs over time. But yeah, apparently all that was cut because it was deemed as too bizarre, which I don't understand really, because that would have helped explain that age there, you know. So instead of the egg thing, they just went with that he's just going after a magical bird that he's trying to bring back and get wealth and glory.
Like, that's
you
his
know?
final... Because he had that whole of, like, mysterious animals.
Like, he had all the bones and whatnot.
Yeah, so it seemed like maybe that was, like, his final
But still,
animal.
I don't think it would have hurt to have the magical egg thing in there just really quickly, just to explain how he's lived for so long, you know. If you had to rank up on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey ears, what would you give it?
You know what? I'm giving it a 10.
10? I don't know if
Because I like...
Okay. I know I said I really like this movie. I still maybe give it more a 9 just for me, personally. Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah. I still just prefer other Pixar and Disney movies over Up, for me personally, but I still love it. A 9 for me. So is that it? Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. Overall, we love Up. It's great. Great characters. You gotta dig deep into the story, because I think there's some psychology going on in there. And things that it's saying. Plots and themes and messages and whatnot. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That's it? Okay, right? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to end this video. So, that's it for this video. Have you guys seen Up? Do you love it? Do you hate it? If you hate it, we'd like to know why. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.